Introduction: the relationship of theory to practice. Let's review the three approaches to method. First, theory of second language acquisition. Second, applied linguistic research. Third, ideas and intuitions from experience. Now, we are going to discuss about the interactions among approaches to practice. Stephen Krushen proposed that the three approaches should influence and help each other. First of all, that researchers would be interested in the results of applied research, since such experiments can provide potential, confirming, and counter-evidence for theories of second language acquisition. Similarly, it stands to reason that applied linguistic researchers should pay some attention to strictly theoretical research, since a successful theory might give researchers deeper insight into the results of their studies. Applied linguistic research is aimed at solving practical, real problems that confront society. Its results give a contribution to the validity of the theories of language acquisition. As what we all know, when conducting a research, the researchers need to provide a theory that will support the research, which helps direct the research and helps to filter data that is relevant to the study. Krushen also suggests that researchers in both theoretical and applied linguistics would benefit by both teaching and studying languages. This will help them to get more insight into the language acquisition process. Figure 1.1 illustrates the ideal relationship between the three areas that influence language teaching methodology. As you can see, this figure shows that second language acquisition theories and applied linguistics should influence each other. How? Like what I said a while ago, when conducting an applied linguistic research, the researchers need theories as a support, and the result of the study can also determine the validity or credibility of theories. Also, applied linguistic research and ideas and intuition from experiences influence each other in the sense that when conducting an applied linguistic research, they need respondents, which of course the people that are in the field of teaching language or second language. It can be the students or the teachers that will share their experiences in teaching and learning a second language. All the three approaches are expected to influence the language teaching practice. The theories will give an idea as to the best method in learning a second language. The research will give results that can help to improve the method which was suggested by the theories. And ideas and intuitions from experiences, of course, will help also the process of second language acquisition, because most of teachers of second language learn from their first-hand experiences. Figure 1.2 shows the actual relationship between theory, applied linguistics research, ideas and intuitions, and language teaching practice. In reality, many researchers are no longer involved in language teaching and language acquisition and do not interact with teachers. There is also far too little interaction between theoretical and applied research. Those who search for the best method are often too little concerned with the underlying theory. There is good reason for this lack of interaction, especially the failure of researchers and teachers to interact. The reasons for this lack of communication do not stem from any anti-intellectualism on the part of teachers. They stem, rather, from the failure of research to supply relevant input in the past, combined with the insistence on the part of theoreticians that their insights were the only legitimate determinant of teachers' behavior in materials construction. In other words, we have, in the past, gone straight from theory to practice. and it simply has not worked. Some well-known examples of this approach include the direct application of the principles of behaviorist psychology in the classroom, known as the audiolingual method. Theoreticians insisted that dialogue and pattern drill were the way to teach language, and recommended techniques that felt wrong to many teachers and students. Audiolingual method, or also called the Army method or NUPI, is a method used in teaching foreign languages. It is based on behaviorist theory, which postulates that certain traits of living things, and in this case, humans, could be trained through a system of reinforcement. A more recent application of theory was what may be called the applied transformational grammar movement, which featured materials directly based on current work in theoretical syntax and phonology. Applied TG did not significantly advance language teaching. Its only tangible effect, perhaps, was that it needlessly made many teachers feel unprepared because they had not been trained in the latest version of transformational theory. Krashen's view about this is that transformational generative grammar and the progress it stimulated in formal linguistics should be recognized as an extremely important contribution and easily outdid previous theories of linguistic structure. These two theories then failed. The first, behaviorist theory, failed to apply successfully to language teaching because it was simply not a theory of language acquisition. The second, TG, failed because it was a theory of the product, the adult's competence, and not a theory of how the adult got that competence. It is not a theory of the process of language acquisition. The new theory is the theory of second language acquisition and attempts to deal with the process of language acquisition, not its product. Despite these virtues, it should only be considered one of several possible sources of information and determining methods and materials for second language teaching. As a result of this, teachers in recent years have appealed mostly to Area 3, their own ideas and intuitions, in determining what they do in the classroom. What teachers actually do is no longer based on theoretical or applied research. Now, we move on what the three approaches have to say about method. What current theory implies, quite simply, is that language acquisition, first or second, occurs only when comprehension of real messages occurs, and when the acquirer is not on the defensive. To use Stivich's apt phrase, language acquisition does not require extensive use of conscious grammatical rules and does not require tenuous drill. It does not occur overnight. However, real language acquisition develops slowly, and speaking skills emerge significantly later than listening skills. The best methods are therefore those that supply comprehensible input. These methods do not force early production in second language, but allow students to produce when they are ready, recognizing that improvement comes from supplying communicative and comprehensible input, and not from forcing and correcting production. The best methods, according to comparative research studies comparing methods A and B as described earlier, appear to be input methods. Those methods that focus on supplying comprehensible input in pressure-free situations. We can get an idea of what the ideas and intuitions area feels is the best method by a survey of pedagogically oriented papers in current journals and the titles of presentations at teacher workshops, the titles have changed markedly over the years. A decade ago, teacher-oriented articles and presentations focused on grammatical description, reflecting the concern with product and procedures for drilling. Current titles more clearly reflect promoting real communication in the classroom, helping students understand spoken and written input, and participate in conversation. In workshops and mini-conferences, we no longer see presentations on fine points of grammar or on types of substitution drill. Newer methodology has, as a primary goal, the lowering